The votes are in for a Bush boom. Why 4 more years could be a sure sign of a huge move higher. For bargain stocks, they're ready for takeoff in the second term. And for the oil drilling stocks, could you strike it rich in a new search for black gold? Next.
This is a Fox News alert. U.S. warplanes have reportedly been launching a fierce attack on targets inside Fallujah. A witness tells Reuters that U.S. fighter jets struck roughly 8 times in 20 minutes, sending huge plumes of smoke billowing up from the northwest of the city. The U.S. military says 2 Marines have been killed in overnight offensives in Fallujah. The Marines drowned when their bulldozer flipped over into the Euphrates River. It comes after American forces stormed the western districts of Fallujah. American soldiers took over the main city hospital there. U.S. forces also secured 2 key bridges over the Euphrates River. Top Palestinian leaders are reportedly going ahead with their trip to see Yasser Arafat in Paris. They had canceled their plans after Yasser Arafat's wife spoke out against them. She accused them of trying to take Arafat's power before he's dead. Arafat is hospitalized in France, reportedly near death, with a mysterious illness. Jurors who have heard testimony in the Scott Peterson trial resumed their deliberations today. They have already spent 20 hours mulling over the case. They've also asked to see photos of the Peterson home and Scott's boat. And Kobe Bryant, who was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in Colorado, may have to defend himself in a California courtroom. Her lawyer is considering filing suit in Orange County, where Bryant lives, because California does not limit the amount an accuser can ask for in a civil suit. In Colorado, there is a $2.5 million limit on damages. The head of the UN's Nuclear Security Agency hopes a tentative deal with Iran will stop Tehran's uranium enrichment program. He spoke at a nuclear security conference in Sydney, Australia. Britain, France, and Germany negotiated the tentative agreement with Iran. Fox and Friends is coming your way at the top of the hour. Cashin In with Terry Keenan starts right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Keenan. Welcome to Cashin In. A second term for President Bush, why that could give new life to the stock market. Let's get the stock smarts. Our Cashin In crew this week without his costume in Chicago, Jonathan Honig, portfolio manager at Capital's Pig Asset Management. Joins from Phoenix, Gary Kaltbaum, president of Kaltbaum and Associates. In San Francisco, Adam Lashinsky, senior writer with Fortune Magazine. Here with me in the studio, Tom Adkins, publisher of CommonConservative.com. Charles Payne, founder of Wall Street Strategies, and Jonas Maxferris, founder of MaxFunds.com. Wayne Rogers will be back next week, and welcome back, everybody. Well, 4 more years for President Bush, even though stocks fell on his watch, but a turnaround could already be on the way, and history is on the president's side. The last 3 presidents to win and serve a full second term, Clinton, Reagan, and Eisenhower, all saw the Dow shoot higher during their second term. So will we see a Bush boom the next 4 years, Tom?
Absolutely. We're going to see the Dow up 1,000 by the end of the year. 2,000 to 3,000 more by the end of next year.
1,000 by the end of this year?
Absolutely. Yes. Look, we're up 250 from the election in 2 days, and I think it's going to keep going. Here's the reason why. The same reason happened under Bill Clinton. Same reason happened under Ronald Reagan, because we cut taxes.
All right, Adam Lashinsky, second terms that were also fraught with peril. We had Iran-Contra, Monica Lewinsky issues, all sorts of Watergate, all sorts of problems.
Yeah, Terry, my concern is that we shouldn't get carried away because of a 3-day rally. You know, I think everybody feels better seeing a jovial, happy president speaking on television than a, stumbling, worried president. So people are in a good mood. There's no question about that. But Tom, the same factors that were weighing down the market before the election are going to continue to weigh down the market after we get over this.
What factor? We got 300,000 jobs last
Earnings have been weak
before the election.
Adam, it's interesting. You're saying everyone's happy, but you seem to be pretty down. And I got to be quite honest with you. The same factors aren't around because one of the biggest factors was who was going to be president. That factor has been removed. Also, we know some of the things that Tom said are correct. I don't know about 1,000 by the end of the year, but let's face it, we're on a roll right now. The country feels great. and a lot of economic stimulus that was put in place is going to be permanent, and Wall Street loves that.
Jonathan, my condolences to you because you're Libertarian candidate. I didn't see him showing up in the final count there. But what do you make of a second Bush term for the market?
Well, Terry, the biggest trend, I think the market was obviously relieved that Kerry wasn't elected. I mean, when the early reports were leaked that Kerry was doing so well, the market started plummeting. You know, Bush is elected, the market shoots up. But the biggest trend I see right now in the market is a weak U.S. dollar, and you know this has huge ramifications, and it's why gold.
What does it mean for U.S. stocks? If you own a lot of U.S. stocks, your retirement's based on it. What does it mean?
Well, I think it means underperformance. I mean, the money that I've been making in the challenge, for example, has come from a foreign utility. I see foreign stocks outperforming U.S. ones, and you know gold is shooting up.
Okay.
Gold is shooting up like a rocket here.
Right.
This is a big trend in the market right now. Who's laughing?
Gary Kay, how's the second Bush term going to play out for our investments?
By the way, first I want to take a little issue. I think the market's done well under Bush. Most of the damage was done in 2001 and 2002.
That's right.
Before Bush's policies. Look, I think the bigger issue is valuations going forward. Look, we've had a year's returns in the last few days, but going forward, the market buys value, and we're still way up there. And I don't think we've contracted enough from the big boom into the year 2000, so I think it's going to be a sector-by-sector, stock-by-stock move going forward. And I think we're going to have mini bull markets, mini bear markets, but I think as indices, it's going to be a very tough road to hoe.
So you don't see a 3,000-point gain in the next year or so like Tom does?
No way, shape, or form. I do want to know what kind of party did Tom have Tuesday night? Must have been popping a lot of balloons.
Okay, Jonas?
I am a little more optimistic. I'm as optimistic as these guys, more optimistic than Gary, but only for about a year or so. I think Bush has got a lot of big plans, and there's a lot of optimism that he's going to get these through now because, like you said, Congress is basically working for him. However, if they actually work, is what's going to drive 3, 4, the whole term stock market. So we should see great returns for a year. Then we got to see if these plans get through and if they're good.
Charles, what inspired investors this week was the fact that the president wants to tackle Social Security.
Well, that inspired them, lower oil, and just, again, that the president was reelected. But, you know, I think with a lot of, it's interesting because what I really like and what I like what I'm hearing here is that there's still enough pessimism out there to create the perfect scenario. We have growth in this country without inflation. We have corporations sitting on tons of money, and there's a lot of value out there. You know, I'm really shocked that everyone's not as excited as Tom is.
Where do you
Charles,
see the value?
you're saying that I'm helping the stock market, in other words, right?
Where do you see value, Charles?
I actually see value across the board, except in things that have already run crazy. But I got to tell you, though, it is still a so-called stock picker's market. I wouldn't just play stocks individually.
Hey, Charles,
I mean, play the market like with a dart. Yeah.
Charles, my main point is one of simplicity. It's the fact that there has been a lot of money lost by a lot of people who got too optimistic at the wrong time.
4 years ago.
We're out of the market.
Right.
5 years ago.
Wait, hold on. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and valuations are still out there. There's still some fraud.
But Gary, I think you're making a mistake in the fact that you're going to let a huge move go by and worry for the perfect breakout scenario, and I think that's a mistake.
I will not let it go by.
All right, I don't think Gary. Yeah, go ahead, Gary. You're not looking to let it go by, right? You're just being selective.
No, and look, if things keep working, if I continue to see action like I saw this week, I am going with it. My main point is you just don't throw, darts at the board saying everything is going to work. You take it step by step, day by day, and if it continues to go, you continue to go with it.
And I think it comes down to playing the best, most highly predictable, most highly probable trades.
Like utility stocks in Ethiopia.
Well, Adam, next week we're going to be talking more about Alan Greenspan probably than President Bush because he's going to raise rates the 4th time. Typically, that's not good for stocks. Is that something to be worried about?
Of course it's something to be worried about, and what I was trying to say earlier before I was politely interrupted is that you've got the fear of higher interest rates, you've got the fear, still the fear of higher oil prices. By the way, we haven't resolved anything in the Middle East. There's still the same concerns that existed before the election, with one exception, that we know who the president's going to be. By the way, the reason Wall Street's excited about this Social Security plan isn't because anybody thinks the president's going to be able to clean it up in his next term, but because there's this greed opportunity for Wall Street to sell more stocks.
People will put money inside. But isn't that a positive?
Yeah, but Wall Street is not reacting today on Social Security. They're reacting today on one very simple thing. They know that the guy who's in there is not going to raise taxes. They've been holding back for a year waiting to find out who's going to win the election.
You are right on that, Tom. You're definitely right. Kerry is on the other end, completely on the other end of the spectrum.
That's right.
I think the market really believed Kerry had a chance. And as Jonathan said, this market was tanking when those exit polls came out.
Jonas, the market was wrong about the election. The market was really looking like they thought Kerry was going to win.
Well, there was a little panic at the end there, but, you know, a lot of the indexes like the NASDAQ and S&P were actually improving before he won.
But
so
down on the year.
Well, for the year, but as we talked earlier, it was the weeks before the election that really mattered, and I think that worked, and then it took off after, obviously. But, you know, let's not underestimate Social Security. Privatizing that puts a lot of money into the market. Now, in the short term, that's going to drive prices higher. Yes, it's a bonanza for Wall Street. We mentioned T. Rowe Price on the show a few weeks ago, up 15% because of that bonanza. But stocks will go up with that new money.
Yeah, Jonathan, you know, every indicator that we looked at, God knows we did about 30 shows on them, you know, they all pointed to a Kerry victory. And you believe in the market. The market was wrong this time. How come?
Well, Terry, you know, the market's never wrong. It's only us investors. Cold Bomb hit on, I think, what's the important point here. You got to be specific in this market, and maybe just buying the QQQs or the spiders isn't going to be your best bet. You know, Charles, you make fun of the, you know, if there was a Ethiopian utility, I'd love to buy it because you know what, the ones in Portugal,
I got to tell you, Jonathan, our clients made so much money this week across the board on U.S. stocks. I just think it's so complicated for the average investor to go out and try to dig through, the great stock picks in France.
You underestimate the average investor.
Okay, well, we underestimated a lot of the voters, so there it goes.
And you don't measure the market in a week.
All right, thanks, everyone. Coming up next, down but not out, bargain stocks that get our crews vote for the next 4 years. We'll have those next.
Wouldn't you love to have sonic hearing? Well, now you can with the amazing Sonic Ears from Bell & Howell, a leader in electronics for nearly 100 years. Now you can hear sounds that other people can't and listen to a joke clear across the room. If you'd like to have sonic hearing, you'll never have a better opportunity. The Bell & Howell Sonic Ears is so small, it's the size of a pager, and it clips conveniently to your belt. The button-type headphones fit comfortably in your ears like a personal stereo. No one ever needs to know that you have sonic hearing. Now you can sit in the balcony and hear like you're in the front row orchestra and keep track of children as they wander off to play.
Sonic Ears is amazing. You won't believe how clear and vibrant every sound is.
The Bell & Howell Sonic Ears picks up and amplifies sounds up to 30 yards away. You can watch TV without turning up the volume and even watch in bed without disturbing others. Your Bell & Howell Sonic Ears amplify sounds up to 50 decibels. And there's even a volume control, so you can set just the level you want. With Sonic Ears, you might even hear a few things that may surprise you.
Wait till Dad sees the new fishing reel I just got him for his birthday.
Get Sonic Ears now and start hearing things you've never heard before.
Until I tried it for myself, I would have never believed it. Now I have sonic hearing.
And here's the best part. The Bell & Howell Sonic Ears is yours for only $19.95. And listen to this. Order now and you'll also get this incredible Micro-Mite radio absolutely free. Now you can take your favorite FM stations with you wherever you go and listen in privacy. It's yours free with the Bell & Howell Sonic Ears. So order now.
To order your Bell & Howell Sonic Ears, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-341-3400 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Bell & Howell Sonic Ears, P.O. Box 5555, Thousand Oaks, California. Call now.
Okay, which stocks fell in Bush's first term but will be big winners over the next 4 years? Let's get our group's best bets. Jonathan, Gary, and Charles are back with some stocks that were down and out over the last 4 years, but are ready to rally now. Okay, Charles, what's your pick here?
I like Business Objects. It's a software play. Software did very poorly under Bush. Some of it was the fact that large corporations, particularly over the last couple of years, held back on spending, not knowing where the direction of the country was going to go. A lot of part of it, too, was obviously the built-up inventories of the 90s. But the reality is, and, we saw it earlier this week in productivity numbers, really sinking big time. Businesses have to start to reinvest in their
Charles,
businesses.
you know what else we saw earlier this week? We saw this stock drop 16%
and
on Thursday.
You know what, though? I prefer to come on here and give investors a stock that's under pressure instead of one that's already up 50, 60%. I like it on weakness.
By
the way, you're a chart guy. Look at this chart. This stock has been a classic buy on weakness.
Okay, Gary K., what do you think?
Maybe I got it upside down. I don't know.
Charles, to coin a nauseating phrase, The wrong stock at the wrong place at the wrong time, my friend.
Well, I
Look,
won't be
let
a
me just tell you.
flip-flopper. I'm going to stick with it.
Hold on. I have studied models of companies that miss earnings, blow up and gap down. I am telling you this is going to be a laggard for quite a while. Their numbers are going to have to re-improve again. I must say, if the market does a little topping action here, I think this is a short at this point in time, not a long. I would definitely stay away from this one.
Ouch, and to continue that metaphor, Gary, it's even a French stock. So let's get your pick here for the next 4 years.
You said that, not me. Okay, I went with American Express. You're asking about 4 years, so I have to go with a consistent stock. It's boring, but consistently growing in the mid-teens. Valuation is reasonable, broke out in the last week and is acting perfectly, and insiders have been buying a little bit of stock into the move, which is always a positive.
It's a Dow component. You like it,
Yeah,
Charles?
I like it. I like others. Some of the competitors, pure credit card plays better than this. MXT, it's a small one. I think goes much higher percentage-wise, but I would not talk anyone out of American Express.
And I'm sure Jonathan has a platinum card to impress the ladies. What do you think of the
Discover,
stock?
Terry, I'm all about the Discover. You know what? I wouldn't fight it. Even GE is done pretty well these days, and I know Home Depot we talked about last week, but I'm just trying to stay away from Dow stocks. I guess, if I wanted to buy a bank or banking company, I'd rather buy like BBV, again, a foreign play, than American Express.
Okay, and you have
another...
another...
BEV, but I wouldn't short Amex right here.
Okay, and you have another foreign play for your Bush pick. What is it?
Well, the French worked for me last week, Perry, so I'm going to try the Germans this time around.
Okay.
Deutsche Telekom, DT, has been a real underperformer. Even when Telecom was doing well, DT wasn't doing bad. But we do own it in my fund, and it joins DB, another former state monopoly in Germany that's really doing quite well right now, as are so many European telecoms like MTA, which we own, OTE, which is Greek, which we own.
Okay. See, the tone has changed already. We're mentioning French, German stocks, and no one's giving anybody any grief. What do you think, Charles?
The large telecom plays, I don't think there's a lot of upside. It's a safe bet. Right here, this is a very safe bet.
I don't know.
You know what? I think
NTT's been doing well.
I do think there's going to be another arms race part 2 in telecommunications, and that's why I like the guys who make the equipment and sell those type of things. The oversold stocks like Lucent, I think, will have a much bigger percentage move over the next 4 years.
Gary K., you like this one?
First off, no bets are safe ever in the stock market, but I do like it. First off, if you're betting on Deutsche Telekom, you're betting on the German market, and it's in real good shape right now. This stock is showing great accumulation, and the earnings numbers and the revenue numbers are terrific. It's a good pick here. Maybe buy it on the pullback, but I have no problem with saying this thing's going higher.
Okay, we found one to agree on. Thanks, everybody. And coming up next, we're going to review one of the worst picks ever for Stock of the Week. We're masochists. It's back, and this time it could be perhaps one of the biggest wins ever. Find out why. We'll have the name up next. We report.
And you decide.
Attention leukemia victims exposed to benzene. Benzene is a common industrial solvent known to cause acute myelogenous leukemia, AML, and other forms of cancer. Hundreds of thousands of workers in the petroleum, rubber-making, and printing industries may be at risk. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with leukemia that may be due to the solvent benzene, call this number in confidence.
Call 1-800-651-0932. That's 1-800-651-0932. Don't delay.
Coming up, drilling for oil and drilling for dollars. How a new search for black gold could make you rich. The stocks that will surge if we can find more oil. Plus, could it be our best ever stock of the week? Next.
No crunches ever.
Introducing the Ab Lounge, scientifically designed to get you up off the floor, making old-fashioned crunches a thing of the past.
Sculpt your abdominals using the Ab Lounge jackknife, proven in university testing to be better for your body.
It's as easy as a crunch, but the Ab Lounge design makes every move really count, targeting your abs without wasted effort.
Compare the Ab Lounge to an old-fashioned crunch. The advanced Ab Lounge jackknife generates up to 75% more muscle activity in the upper and lower abdominals, and an amazing 268% more in the love handle obliques.
I have this one pair of jeans. After just 8 weeks, my fat jeans don't really fit anymore.
With its rolled steel frame, the Ab Lounge supports up to 275 pounds.
And it's so easy, almost anyone can use it.
Call now to try the Ab Lounge for 30 days for just $14.95. If you don't agree the Ab Lounge is the best way to a sexy stomach, return it within 30 days for a refund of your $14.95.
Call now and say goodbye to crunches forever.
I'm a stripper.
Uncensored.
I'm a hard cheese.
Uncontrollable.
You can't have my man.
Undoubtedly Springer. Jerry Springer uncut, wild, and outrageous more.
I'm trying to remember what I asked you before you took your clothing off.
An all-new collection of all the sexy, hot-tempered Springer action we can't show you on regular TV.
Very nice.
Jerry Springer uncut, wild, and outrageous more. See what you've been missing. Now playing on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Prepare to see the world's greatest fighters collide on DirecTV. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 50, the War of 04. Undefeated knockout artist Patrick the Predator Cote gets the chance of a lifetime as he steps up against one of the UFC's biggest stars, the Huntington Beach bad boy Tito Ortiz. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents the War of 04, sponsored by Trump Hotels and Casino Resorts on DirecTV.
Stock of the week that went down in flames. Was it just a week too early? Well, Tom Atkins is back, and he is picking Merck as a stock of the week. Sound familiar? Well, yeah, it's because Jonas picked it last week. That certainly didn't work out. An understatement there. Stock dove first thing Monday morning on reports that the company knew ahead of time that there were problems with its arthritis drug Vioxx. Revelation that could have a big impact on future lawsuits. Jonas, though, says he still likes it. He's a loyal man. And Jonathan warned people to stay away last week. He was certainly right, and he's going to beat that drum again today. Tom, a bold play here, but, you know, what's the cost per share of these Vioxx lawsuits?
I don't know yet. They haven't gotten through all that yet. But here's why. First of all, I love going swimming where someone just drowns. It's the safest place you can go. And here's a stock that's great, that has a broad array of products. And the sector's been hammered down for the past 2 years. They have great stock that hit a speed bump. They're going to get through it and make a lot of money.
Tom, how do you spell your name? I'm adding your name to the list of people who've come on this air and recommended Merck
You know
over the last 2 years.
Jonathan, funny that you would bring that up, because I think the list probably starts when the stock was in the 50s. We had people...
Bradshaw, Jonas, Heimowitz, Battipaglia, Ned Riley, Hillary Kramer, Pat Dorsey, Mike Norman.
But I got the low price, baby!
Your mouth of God's ear.
I'm coming in low.
You know,
buy low, sell high.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to buy low as long as the stock then goes up. But, you know, you can't just catch a falling knife. All of those people did try to catch the falling knife. Jonas, you're the next one.
I thought I was getting the low price Monday morning when I put it in my challenge portfolio, where it stays today and will stay to the end of the year, because it's going to beat those utility stocks.
Isn't it lower now, though?
Yeah, I'm probably down 6 or 7% from Monday. Yeah, it's terrible. But I'm telling you, it's priced like a tobacco stock now. It has a lot of similarities to a tobacco stock, but it is going to come back, because even if they can afford to pay $20, even $30 billion in settlements.
Jonathan, let me ask you this question. I mean, if you're a portfolio manager or one of those people on the list that happen to own the stock this year and are down 25%, you're going to be likely to sell it between now and the end of the year, aren't you? Not buy it?
I would hope so, Terry. I mean, this stock hasn't made money for anyone as long as I can remember. So, you know,
that's why I'm picking it. I'm picking it now.
Isn't it going to get some tax loss selling as portfolio managers try to get rid of it?
Yeah, look, we're all getting technical, but I'm
it's not technical. People are going to dump the stock.
I'm going to get very general here. I'm going to get very general here. This company specializes in making drugs that save people from the crap that they eat. We have 280 million clients for these guys.
Pfizer and Merck are super weak right now. Glaxo, Bayer, we own those much stronger.
They're all weak after 2 years of an election campaign.
Okay, Jonas, you're sticking with it too.
There's tax losses. There's distressed investors who will come in and buy it also weak to counter that.
Okay, we're going to leave it there, and the tape will tell. Thanks, everyone. Finally, a plan to make us less dependent on foreign oil. Well, we could finally get it in the next 4 years. Find out which stocks would benefit from that up next.
Hey, are you watching regular cable? Then it's time you called Dish Network Satellite TV. Why call Dish Network? Because 100% digital delivery gives you way better quality, value, choice, and control. Let's start with quality. Unlike cable, where only some of the channels are digital, Dish Network is 100% digital, right to your home. giving you a remarkably clear and bright picture. And the sound is pretty amazing, too. Want value? Call Dish Network now and get your favorite channels, including your local channels, for less than $1 a day. Want choices? Well, call now and choose from dozens of entertainment packages, including HDTV. Best of all, there's no equipment to buy and no Dish Network commitment. Call Dish Network now and get satellite TV in the whole house. That's right, watch 4 different shows on 4 different TVs. That's the best value in America. With our personalized on-screen guide, you can quickly find your favorite shows, create a favorites list, and of course, parental locks. Want even more control? Call Dish Network and get the Dish Player DVR, which allows you to pause and replay live TV. Yes, you can also digitally record hours and hours of your favorite shows without videotapes. And you know what? Our customers think we're pretty cool too. Call now and get the best television quality, value, choice, and control with Dish Network Satellite TV.
A fierce attack on Fallujah as American troops launch a deadly battle against insurgents and work to secure a war-torn region in Iraq. Only one network brings you the latest reports and up-to-the-minute coverage. Only one. Only Fox News Channel. Tonight at 10, are they close to a verdict? The latest updates and breaking news as the jury in the Peterson case deliberates Scott's fate. Only one show gets you this close. Tonight at 10, Greta is live from Redwood City, California.
Strike it rich with the oil drilling stocks. Time now for Money Mail. Jonathan, Adam, and Charles are back. Up first, Josie in Miami says that if President Bush gets his way, we'll be drilling for oil in Alaska. And he wants to know, Jose that is, whether stocks will benefit and which stocks from this drilling. And Charles, a lot of anticipation about this. Is it too soon to get into these stocks?
You know, you can argue it's too soon or too late because they've already had a big run, in part because crude oil is up and also after the Bush victory. But, you know, someone on the show mentioned earlier that oil is going to stay high, and it probably will set a new, level. I think in this case you want to look at Apache, APA, and also BJ Services, which makes pressure pumps. And I do believe if you believe that Bush is going to be able to, I don't know if he's going to be able to really drill in Alaska, but I do think we need to look.
Do you own either one of those?
No, I don't, but I do buy them from time to time.
Okay. What do you think, Jonathan?
BP and COP, that's ConocoPhillips Terry, are strong stocks. I wouldn't fight them. We're not playing those, but I got to say, you know, oftentimes in a bull market, you know, every ship does rise, and I wouldn't fight those stocks to the strongest of that group that I'm watching.
Okay, let's move on to Ruth in Massachusetts, who says that a lot of money has been made in this election about voting on morals, and she wants to know about investing specifically in socially responsible funds. And Adam, SRI, as it's called, is something a lot of people do as an investment strategy. It hasn't always panned out, but what do you think?
I think, Terry, this is a very personal decision whether or not to do something like this. My thoughts, I wouldn't do it. I'm a skeptic. I say make money in the stock market, then give money to charity. Now, if you can't own an oil driller, or if you can't own a tobacco company, or a company that's involved in, abortion in some way, then you can't. Then you have to look for funds, like this Ave Maria fund, for example, that only does things that are in, accordance with the way the Catholic Church would see things. But generally, it's just not the best way to make money for the long run.
Yeah, Jonathan, don't you agree? Make the money, take the tax deduction, and give it to charity?
I think there's something disgusting, Terry, about suggesting that a defense company is somehow irresponsible, or that a tobacco company or a porn company, Playboy, is an irresponsible company. I think socially responsible investing is I would never follow it.
That's the capitalist in you, but some people, have to live their lives a certain way, and they still have to figure out how to make money for their retirements, right?
Charles?
Yeah, no, I agree with both of you guys to a certain extent.
That's hard to do.
But, but one person's social responsibility is a different person's social responsibility. Actually, there's been a lot of work that says that this type of investing does work. I think it's complicated and it is extremely personal. There's another fund out there called Noah Fund, if you want to look for a mutual fund that does this. But, if your conscience is in a way of making money, you shouldn't be in the market.
I thank God for Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, Seriously.
All right. right, praise the Lord. Okay, Alan in New York wants to know about Google. Now, that stock has been amazing since its IPO, and he thinks that the market cap, though a bit high, it now stands at over $50 billion. I mean, this has just been a rocket ship, Jonathan. What do you make of it?
Well, I think I kind of screwed the pooch in this one, Terry, because I think my quote, I think, was, oh, I could find 1,000 better places for my money than Google. Well, you didn't need to look too much further than Google. You know, it's been hot, but it's not my kind of stock. It's just day-to-day, too much volatility, not a lot of price action there. I'd probably sooner buy eBay, another tech stock and internet stock that's off to the races here than Google right now.
What do you think?
I got to tell you, about a month ago, Adam had this right, I had it wrong, but I think it's created a new range, 200 on the upside, 150 on the downside. If you're a day trader or a swing trader, fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch it.
Adam?
Right, I predicted it would hit 135, which was the upper end of its original target. It went way past that. Google's doing great. I think the stock will go higher. It could easily go way lower, though. It's one of those.
All right.
So it's don't bet the farm.
We got to leave it there. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Cashin' In. All the news is straight ahead.